Hey guys, so I'm out here just walking the dog, thinking. I seem to get like my best thoughts and stuff when I'm walking. And I just wanted to hop on here and, I don't know, talk to you a little bit. Give you guys some motivation, inspiration. I wasn't going to make a video because the day before last, my 17-year-old wanted to go tanning, so I went with her, right? And like an idiot, I went in for 9 minutes. So I don't know if you can tell right now, but I'm like burnt. Like I was like not even like red, but like pink, like so burnt. Okay, so like yesterday I couldn't even move when I woke up, and I just look horrible. Like it was like my eye, like my eyes were like swelled up, like everything was so like red, and I was like, well, you know what? I guess I could use this as an opportunity to tap into my powers, basically, that I hold within, and use it as an opportunity to try to heal myself. Like I know I could heal like pain, take pain away, and I'm like, but I'm feeling pain right now, so I need to be, use this as an opportunity to kind of see really what I could do. And literally yesterday, the pain went away completely. I don't have any pain right now, and it's gotten so much better. As soon as I switch my state of mind and in my attention, where I put my attention, because we're energy, where your awareness goes, energy flows, and I changed my awareness into more of not like a negative, like I try to, I started focusing on positive and healing myself. Oh, there's a little bunny. And today I woke up and sunburn takes like a while, it could take a while, especially how burnt I am still, or I was. But I woke up and today I'm so much better, and I'm like, damn, Ashley, like, dang, like, it's just amazing to me. But that's not why I was coming on here anyways, but I just wanted to throw that out there, that we each have these innate abilities within us. We just forgot about them, But the real message why I wanted to get on here was to talk to those, which if you're watching this video, I believe you are a chosen one to do great things in life. And, you have a purpose. And I know everything that I went through wasn't for nothing. I mean, it wasn't just for my own, for myself, but for, obviously to help others. And there's just I wrote down some stuff at home. I have it at home, like a couple things that if you're chosen, you're gonna go through. It seems like, and I know these are all for, like, I went through all this. So I wanted to just go over a couple of those with you right now as I'm walking. And one of them is like embarrassment, humiliation. Like, it's almost like, which when I look back, like, if I didn't go through that humiliation, if I didn't go through that embarrassment, if I didn't go through those vulnerable points in my life where I was at the lowest of the lows, I looked horrible. Like, I was thinking back yesterday of me, like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, like, oh my gosh, like, I look totally different. And like, it's amazing where I'm at right now. It's just amazing. And the whole message is, if I can do it, anyone could do it. And I promise you, like, I really don't like to get into didn't really want to get into my past too much and put it all out there, because I feel like, because then, it's just, like, I want to, but I don't, but it's almost like I feel like I have to kind of get my message across, because, it's like, people don't want to hear something from somebody who hasn't lived it, like, and I've lived it. I mean, so anyways, I was in a horrible place. And so if I can do it, oh, look at this butterfly. Oh, look how beautiful this little bench is right here. If I can do it, anyone could do it. And that's the whole point, that I need Jins to understand, because so many people are just like in this spot where I was. Like, you know, you almost feel like you'll never get out of it. Like, how could it ever get better? You know what I mean? Like, how, it could be so bad, but like, you have to understand that it's necessary for your growth. It's necessary for you to grow humility, and to, you know, it's for your own good, basically. And so humiliation, embarrassment, I don't want to go too much into each one. I have more stuff written at home, but also it seems like everyone will turn against you. Family members, friends, communities, churches, justice systems. And it seems like the whole, it's you against the world, right? Like Tupac said, it's me against the world. And that's what it could feel like. It could be very lonely. It's very isolating, which is another one, being isolated. Being isolated, and whether that is, regardless of where it is, whether if you're homeless, whether if you're not, you have a house and everything, but you have no family, or you could be in jail, prison. You could be isolated anywhere, and in a hospital, you know, by yourself, and it gives you the time to kind of reflect. You know, and it's another thing, building your character. It's just building you to be who you're going to end up being, to do what you're going to end up doing. Like, anything that you're going through is not in vain, I promise you. Like, there's a reason behind it, and I teach this to my kids all the time, that everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, I promise you. The universe, God, whatever you want to call it, higher power, doesn't make mistakes. It just doesn't happen. And everything is going to build you into who you are. And I'm not saying that, like, there's also going to be a lot of people who are going to try to stop you, but you have to understand that there's a lot there. You're meant for big things, great things, and you hold the light. You know, you hold, and you're here to help humanity, right? So there's a lot of negative entities out there, demons, spirits, whatever you want to call them, and that can work through your friends, your family members. They can work, and these people can even be unconscious of it. Like, I've had people against me that hated me for no reason, like in the system and stuff. Like, they hated me. They were trying to do anything to destroy me. I mean, I never seen anything like it. It's like, because they were making me out to be somebody that I wasn't, and they were trying to make me believe that I was this person that they were trying to portray me to be. But like, this is the thing. This purifies your heart. I'll go through all this stuff. This is what we need to get to, this place of, you know, that purity of heart. And I always had it known that I always knew I had a pure heart. I always knew my love for, you know, my children, and for certain, like, I always had that in me. So no matter what they try to say or throw at me, there was just no convincing me. There wasn't. And you know, don't let these people, don't let these systems and people, don't let them bring you down. Don't let them tell you that you're something that you're not. Don't let them make you believe that you're something that you're not. You have to know. You have to have that inner knowing that, like, you have a pure heart. Like, I might have did some messed up shit in my life, like, you know, just that wasn't really hurting others. Sometimes maybe it was, but it was really hurting myself more. But it's all to help you grow, to help get out all those, it's almost like it's helping you purge all of what you see in others, like lying, deceit, manipulation, that they're projecting onto you. It's almost like you're going through all that to expel that out of you, out of your heart, so that way you could eventually get to a place of humility and a pure heart, so then you could do what you're destined to do, and help as many people as you're meant to help, and to use your story to help motivate others. Like, there's so many times I could have gave up, you guys. Like, I don't think you understand the position. I don't think, God, people who are close to me know my stories. I have stories for days, man, and I went through things, and this is another one. If you're chosen, you'll go through things that nobody else has gone through. There are so many, some people might have like one thing that, like, they went through that, like, no one else probably would go through. I have pages full of things. And that's almost like, it's like hard because you can't make this shit up. Like, there are situations that I've been in that I know for a fact nobody else on this earth have been through. And that's not easy to say. I've been through some crazy freaking experiences. But they all taught me that I could depend on myself. Like, I got myself through all that stuff. That, with the grace of God, that I'm alive here now. I mean, because I don't know how, because there's so many people that I know that are close to me that are not here anymore. And this is another one, near-death experiences. It seems like a lot of people who are chosen have those. Even if it not meaning like you have to like literally flatline and die, even though I did 3 times. And some people could be like kick a ball and run out in the street and like almost get hit by a car, like, but you know, they didn't. Like, that could be like considered, you know, a near-death experience, like almost, or it could be the other way around, and you know, where you actually did die and you're here. So it's almost like, and it was 3 times, which is kind of weird because like, I don't know, but anyways, it's just, that put also an inner knowing in me that I am here for a reason. My daughter and I was talking about that recently. She was like, Mom, like, you know, like, you're here for a reason. Like, so many people don't know that, but like, you know that because like you could have been dead literally 3 times, but you somehow came through it. And the last one was the worst. Like, they had me in an induced coma for almost a week or 2. I mean, they told everyone I wasn't gonna make it, basically, and but I did. By the grace of God, I did. It's a miracle. It's a freaking miracle that I'm here. So, and it took that many times to wake me up. Like, I was so caught up in those lower frequencies. And it was because, you know, when I was younger, I had a lot of trauma and stuff like that. Like, there was a lot that I went through as a child that people, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, there's so much. And so by the time, you know, I'm 18, supposed to be turning an adult, then I get pregnant with my daughter. I never had the time to really heal or work. I didn't even know how, because we weren't taught how to deal with our emotions. We're not taught what emotions are. And that's all a setup. It's like they have you in school 8 hours a day and stuff like that. Like, but what are you really learning? If you're not, you know what I mean? Like, so many, and then that's another one. If you're chosen, you probably dealt with maybe a lot of trauma in your life. And that's also, this goes like hand in hand with almost like breaking generational curses, because that's another thing that we're meant to do here, is break those curses that have been going on for hundreds of years. And by me never giving up, by me, you know, changing everything. It's like when I woke up, and then I'm going to tell you another thing that really messes you up is medications, man. Because after I had my near-death experience in 2017. I'm your dog. Bye-bye, let's go this way. And so after that, I was still on medications. Like, they had me for like ADHD, which I define as attention deficit down into a higher dimension. But they put you on medications and stuff like that. And then I had really bad anxiety. Like, if you knew me, like, I'm such a different person. And I woke up from that last time. And I still was on, like, medications. Well, like, it was in 2018. I was going to court for my kids. Get my kids back. And, like I said, the system used anything against me. Like, and they mess with shit, like, in there. Like, and the thing was, I knew I was doing right, so like I had nothing to hide. So like so they'll either use anything against you. So they would either say that I was taking too much of my medication, or like the next time it'd be I wasn't taking it and I was selling it. And it was like, and I realized in that moment when I was in the courtroom the one time, whenever they switched it to something else, I was like, they're gonna use this against me. And this will be the reason that, you know, I won't win. So literally, I walked out of there and went to a hospital, checked myself in, and I told them I had to get off these medications. They were benzodiazepines, clozapines, Xanax. It was in 2018, and they told me the amount that I was on, there was no way, because I was like, I have 5 days, and I was like, and I have a visit. I have to. And I knew there was, basically, it was going to be very hard. And they're like, listen, you're going to have a lot of like PAWS, which are post-acute withdrawal symptoms, which can last up to 2.5 to 5 years. Like, this needs to be slow, blah, blah, blah. I was like, listen, just knocked me out. I slept for 5 days, okay? I woke up and I felt like my world was flipped. Like, I felt my left was right, my right was left. I remember going home and, like, trying to sweep with a broom. Everything felt, like, flipped. I tried to pluck my eyebrows. I'll never forget. Like, I'm looking in the mirror and, like, it was hard because, like, these okay, so you could die from withdrawal from alcohol and benzodiazepines, which are Clozapine, Valium, Xanax. These are 2 things you could die from withdrawing from. And somebody told me it would take months to get off these, and that I shouldn't, and everything else. But I did it in 5 days, guys. 5 days. The amount that I was on, I don't think you can understand. Like, most people would say it's impossible, because, like, and people don't realize that even if you're, like, on an antidepressant or anything can become addictive. Freaking Benadryl can like become addictive, though. Like, anything. And I got off of them. My hands were all shaky and stuff, but I held it together. I had a visit on the 6th day with my kids, and it made, because I didn't want them to know what was going on. Oh man, it wasn't easy, but like I have this like inner will. Like, if I make a decision, like, I'm very strong-willed, and especially when it comes to something that I love, that's illegally being trying to take away. Like, it was, oh gosh, I can't even put it to words, you guys. It's so, and I hate getting into this, but like, I feel like to get this message across, I need you to understand the depth of this. I need you to understand the positions I was in, and if you're going through this, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And it's not easy, but I did it. That was in February 2018, and I've been off those medications since, and my world has changed, and because of that, there's people I know who've seen me do it, and they're like, Ash, like, they've seen the change in me, and they're like, and they're on them, they got off them. They did it a little bit differently, but it doesn't matter how, regardless, they got off of them, which is, it's amazing, just amazing. But so if I could do it, you can do it. And but listen to this one. This is hilarious. So when I go back to court, right, this is how they flip shit around. So I told them what happened, the lady. So guess what she says to the judge? She goes, well, since this past month, and since Miss Burke has done a stint in rehab. Like, are you shitting me? That's how you're going to word it? Because, like, and this is what they do. They like to plant seeds. Because then it's like, it's my word against theirs. And then if I don't have a chance to talk, if they're saying this after, you only get, like, one chance to talk. It's such bullshit. But anyway, so they said Miss Burke did a stint in rehab for a week. What? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you were using this, like, against me the whole time. Like, you couldn't give me any credit, right? No, not at all. And I was like, I went, because this was being used against me. And then they try to make it a bad thing. They try to be like, well, I don't know if this was such a good idea that you got off your medication, because, you've been so stable and so good that now we're going to have to kind of reevaluate, like, start at the beginning, because now you're, like, off these medications, and we're kind of worried. We're worried for her, safety, and we're worried for her mental health. And it's like, oh, now you're worried. Like, so this is how they use it's like you do what they want you to do, but no matter what you do, they're still going to flip it around and use it against you. Like, I was mind fucked. I was like, wait, what? Like, this is what you wanted, and then now I do it, and now you're going to try to say I did a stint in rehab, and then now you're going to use it against me, saying, oh, well, I don't know if this is, this is good, because you've been so stable, but now that you're off of them, we're worried. Like, it's like, this is just what happens. This is how it goes. This is how it happens. So the whole point of this is, stay strong through it. Like, you have to keep going. It was my persistence that got me to where I am today. Oh, look at this. You see, I think it's a bird. I always find the coolest stuff out here. It's like Celtic knots and a cross. It's pretty. It's so beautiful out here, guys. There's another little bench. So I need you to understand that if I can do it, you can do it. if I can do it, you can do it. I promise you. And this is the craziest part of all that I really haven't put out there yet. But so after I got my kids and everything, which took a few years, don't you know, they reached out now and offered me a job, the government, right? Because they were baffled of how I did it, not once but twice. And this is the thing, like the second time it was a conflict of interest. It was the first lady from the first time who illegally came in end up being the caseworker for the second time, which was illegal. It's called a conflict of interest. And as many times as I said that, like, it was always illegal. And I keep saying, well, I want to get the transcripts for them, but I still do. But it's just amazing. It's baffles my mind still to this day. But I'm not looking at it as like, from this, I'm not talking like, oh, I'm a victim and like it was my actions that got me into the situation. But they tried to freaking persecute me. It was like it was so crazy to me because like the foster, I don't even want to get into it, but like everybody turned against me too. Everyone turned against me, basically. Almost everyone, not everyone, but people who were close to me were coming in testifying against me, and there were people coming in testifying against me that I've never met. I was like, what the freak is going on right now? Like, what is going on? Like I made some mistakes, like a couple mistakes, but like that was it. Like it was. I wish you could understand the depth of it. Like, but I don't want to get too deep into it because the whole freaking point here is, if I can do it, you can do it. And I forget exactly what I was talking about a second ago, but I'll remember. But the other part of it is, that like they also told me, because they tell you at the beginning, if you do everything you're supposed to do, you'll get your kids back. Well, I did everything and more. And don't you know that's a lie? Because the judge said to me at the end, Miss Burke, because my oldest, they weren't going to give my oldest back, but they gave my youngest one back first. This is even more fucked up. They said, Miss Burke, this has nothing to do with you. You've done everything you can, but unfortunately the system has failed you, and in the court, this is based on, a time frame. So from 15 to 22 months, we have to go and do something. So we're giving you your youngest back, but your oldest, since she's in a different school, we think, and it's not in how much you do, it's what's in their best interest at the end of the day. And we think it's in her best interest to stay where she's at, because it might be more detrimental to take her out of school and her having to change schools again. And I'm like, that makes no sense. So then they gave them SPLC, which is supervised permanent legal custody, okay? And what I've come to conclude is the P in permanent is actually not permanent, because she's back home with me. And I never gave up. So irregardless of what system you're in, I mean, I'm just using this story as an example. I mean, I have a bunch of different stories that I could go and use as examples, right? With what I'm saying. The point is don't ever give up, because they're gonna, there's gonna be times when you're humiliated by, you're gonna be in situations where you're embarrassed, you're vulnerable, you're at the worst point in your life. And there's going to be times when at that point in your life, instead of somebody reaching down and giving you a hand, they're going to kick you when you're down. This is like, I think I've proven this. They are going to kick you when you're down. And irregardless of what you do, they don't have it in them to be like, okay, good job, I was wrong about you. They still to this day wouldn't. And you have to realize, like I was saying, there is dark entities that work through these people. And these are the people that are working in our systems. These are the people that are working, that are supposed to be protecting the children. All right? This is like, and this is another point I'm trying to get at, is like, you can't, just because, they're made to protect children, and maybe they have protected some, that doesn't mean, like, it just doesn't mean that that's, what it's all cracked up to be, because they did, like, I can get way in deeper about, it's scary, man. It's scary, because, like, I've seen the evil working through these different people, the lies that they told, like, oh my God, like, it's sad, man. It's sad. I've seen in the criminal system, I've seen judges say to somebody, count how many birds you see out there on that roof. And someone would be like, 4. They'd be like, okay, you get 4 years. They'd be like, and they smack the hammer, and that's that. You're going upstate for 4 years. I've seen judges say to people, all right, here, you have a choice. Either let me, I'm going to go, you're going to get 10 to 25 years, or whatever, or you can roll these dice. And whatever you get, that's how many years you're getting. Like, so maybe someone could maybe be getting 5 years. But if they roll the dice and get a 2, then they'll do 2 years. Like, what the freak? Or, like, I'm baffled. I was in there with the girl, like, she had a sister, looked just like her. And the judge said, if you come back in here, you're going upstate for 10 years. The sister looks just like her, gets her first charge for something stupid, goes in there, and he says, okay, 10 years. He thought it was her. Gave her 10 years. It took her about 5 years before she was able to get another hearing to come back in front of him to explain, because, like, once they smack that hammer, it doesn't matter what you say, and if you open your mouth again, you're getting more time. You're going to be held in contempt. Like, these systems are designed for you to fail. I say this all the time, but I'm going to say it again. They're designed for you to fail. Oh, and that's what I was talking about. See, sorry, I got sidetracked. I got offered a job in the same system that tried to make me, that tried to persecute me and make me look out to be like the worst, a monster, like the worst person in the world. And those same ones literally offered me a job. I would have been working for the government, and I would have been teaching the same case workers and stuff that were that came after me. And it was very, like, humbling experience whenever I got, the message that there was job openings and I'd be perfect for it, because, like I said, they were baffled about how I did it, and they, the one person who was my, like, advocate, thought that I would be able to help, and I get that, and it was a very humbling experience, and I thought about it long and hard, but I just couldn't see myself willingly giving any more of my life or time to them, and then have to be controlled by them. I had to be at a job at a certain time, I just couldn't fathom it. I was like, I'm very thankful you asked, and if anything, I would rather, like, if you need me to come down and volunteer or speak or help somebody, you could always call me and I'll be there. But as far as willingly, kind of, I couldn't do it. I was like, no, no. I couldn't willingly see me, I have no problem volunteering and going speaking and stuff like that, but being on their time. I was on their time for years. I spent on their time against my will, and I just couldn't willingly do it. And everyone's like, Ashley, you're crazy. Like, you should have taken that as a government job. Like, but I seen that. I know how it works. It's hours in courtrooms when nothing can be, and then it gets postponed. It's a shit show, is what it is. A freaking shit show. With a lot of people who are working there that shouldn't be there. Like the case worker, I think that was mine. She didn't even go, like, to college. Like, and it's just, it's like these people don't know anything about freaking human psychology. Kids, they know nothing. They about trauma, about, like, and they shouldn't be the ones that it's up to them. The ones that hold personal, all that, they have too much pride to say they're wrong. Somebody who has too much pride to say they're wrong, they shouldn't be in that system. Because, everyone's wrong sometimes. But as long as you could admit that, then. But irregardless, I've been on here for 29 minutes. But I just wanted to, and I know I've talked about this before, and I know I get sidetracked, but irregardless, the message is still there, and I know I'm talking to somebody out there. I know somebody's hearing me, and I know somebody needs to hear this right now, and I know it's going to help somebody. So, if you're chosen, be prepared for everyone to go against you, for you to be made to look like something that you're not. This is all tests. These are all tests. All of it. It's all tests to see if you can withstand. Because if you are chosen, like, this is a big role that you're going to be playing in this part, in this time, right now. Like, there's this, it's not like something that just comes easily. This is not something that's just handed to you. This is something that you have to earn, because this world will taint you. Irregardless if it will. And you have to be able to withstand all this, and these are tests. These are tests to see if you could do it. And I mean, the tests I went through were freaking hard, man. I mean, I've been through some shit. Like, I look back and now I could see it for what it was. But whenever you're on those medications, whenever you're drinking, whenever you're on drugs, whenever you're altering your brain chemistry, it's almost like you have these blinders on, and you can't see past those. You can't see what's really taking place until after you stop and give your brain a minute to heal, because it will heal itself. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, because people just don't want to hear that type of stuff. But I promise you, those medications and stuff like that. And I'm not saying just go throw out your medications. And I mean, I'm just saying, like, be smart. Like, I went and checked myself into a hospital, to a detox, and slept for 5 days. Even though I woke up like feeling like my left was right, my right was left, and my whole world was flipped upside down. Regardless, I was off the medication, and with time, I found a new balance, a new, normal, and I'm way better than I was. Totally different person. And the wisdom that came with it, like, once I got past that, once I got off that medication, my anxiety was horrible. But, like, here I am right now, standing, talking to all you, which back then I would never have done. There's no way. I wouldn't say a word. Like, I was, my anxiety, and oh man. And then just the way I was such a wreck, and the way my self-confidence, I had none. Like, I had, it's like, but it's almost like you have to get to that point. It's almost like, you ever hear, like, tear you down so you can build back up. To get all that, like I said, to get all that purge out of you, all that negative. And that's what it does. It humbles you, purifies your heart, your intentions. So like I said, everybody leave. Isolation, or not everyone leave, but isolation, humiliation, embarrassment, could be near-death experiences, experiences that nobody else in the world will go through. These are all signs that you are here, you're chosen here in this time now to help, to lead through your experience, to help motivate the future generations that are here now, that are going to be, that are maybe in a rock bottom right now, wanting to end their life, or wanting to, not seeing that what they're going through is for a reason, and it you just don't understand that. So that's, like, my biggest message. I just want you to know, like, there is a reason. And I know, like, it could sound so crazy, because some of the shit that we go through, like, man, it's not easy, and I'm letting you know that I understand that it's not, but it's also not easy to keep going. Like, it's easy to give up. That's what's easy. It's easy to give up, throw in the towel, and it's easy. And that's not what we need, is people who take the easy way. And it seems like that's another thing. I feel like if you're chosen one, I seem like I always do things ass backwards than anybody else. Like most people just go right the easy way. Here's me, I get lost and I'm going all the way up here, all with this whole scenic route. 3 hours later, I ran into, like, it's just so, I just do everything ass backwards from everybody else, I feel like. And I feel like that could be another sign that you're a chosen one, is doing the things, not like others. And that's because on that scenic route, there's so much that you can learn about yourself. Come on, bud, this way. There's so much you can learn. And then also, another one is, like, if you're like me, like, there's extremes. Like, I'm either in, or I'm black or white. Like, there is no middle for me. Like, when it comes to, like, extremes, like highs, lows. Like, I feel like if you're chosen, like, that's like you. It's like I'm either in or I'm out. I'm either talking, and if I'm talking, it's like this, or I'm not saying a word. Like, there is no in between for me. And, like, I always talk about this because that's what it seems like. It seems like that's just, maybe that's just how, I don't know, but I feel like some people might be able to relate to what I'm saying right now. And it's kind of hard to put into words, but, like, it's just extremes. You're either in or you're out. There is just no in between with you. There's no in between with me. Like, I'm going to give it my all. When I say I'm going to give it my all, I'm not going to give up. Or it's one or the other. There is no in between. But we're not going all the way back in here. Sorry. But I didn't want to be on here this long. But I hope somebody could take something from this. And I want you to understand that, like, it, also, let me just stop there. I have more at home that I wrote down, like, different things. So let's just go over real quick. So if you're a chosen one, here to help humanity right now, you might go through isolation, embarrassment, humiliation, vulnerability. There it will seem like everyone, it's you against the world. It will seem like there's situations that nobody else will go through but you. There could be near-death experiences. There could be evil entities basically working through other people to get to you. To stop you. Because they know that you are destined for greatness. They know. They see what's in you that you don't even see. And that's the scary part, is that these negative demon-like entities can see in you what you cannot even fathom. And you'll get to a point where you can. Come on, Bubba, we're going this way. Oh, this dog, he just won't move. Look at him, he just wants to stand right here. Okay, I guess we're going this way. Also, isolation. You'll be isolated, alone, the black sheep of your family, basically, because you are the one that was born into that family to break these generational curses. If you're not like your family, if you're the one who's falling down the hill off the cliff and they're all down the straight, it's because it's everything's for a reason. You're going through everything you're going through for a reason. And it will end. I promise you, you're not going to be going through this forever. It might seem like it. But as long as you keep persisting, you keep going, and you don't give up, and as long as you keep going and don't give up, it will, like, feelings and stuff, emotions, they're temporary. Pain is inevitable. Suffering's optional. I was going to get that tattoo on me, but I ended up getting through pain comes strength one. Right here, I don't know if you can see. And there's so much pain. Those that are chosen, they're going to understand this tattoo. There's so much pain. You're going to understand that. But you're also going to get to a point where you understand that through pain will come strength. And will come the best version of you that you need to be when you need to be it. For yourself and for others. And, so beautiful in here. I just want you to all know that, and I love you all. And also, I want you to understand, like, it's not like you're not going to get anything. Like, it's not like I keep saying it's not for nothing, but I promise you, on the other side of that, there are more blessings. Like, you know, it's almost like you're not just going to be given these superpowers, kind of, if you want to call them that. Being able to heal, being able to do certain things. Like, they have to almost be earned, but they will come as long as you, like, there's so much beauty on the other side of that pain. There's so much beauty, and there's so much to be gained. And everything that you will lose, you will get back tenfold. Like, everything that I lost, like, I look at my life now, and it's like I have it tenfold. Like, my kids now, I have three beautiful daughters. I got everything, and I wouldn't have all that if it wasn't for everything that I went through. I might have all that, but I might not have had a clear head. Like, so this is something else I'm going to tell you. So during all that, and I always told you, my mom always taught me to turn every negative to a positive, which helped me so much. And I was sitting there after I lost my kids, and I was like, how can I turn this into a positive? Like, there's nothing positive in this. Like, there's nothing positive in this. So, like, I literally, like, prayed. And I was like, you know, I just prayed. Like, and I was like, and literally it came to me in that moment. It was like, the positive, Ashley, is right now, your kids aren't here. So you have ample enough, like, amount of time to work on yourself, to become the best version that you could be, for not just yourself, but for your kids and for everybody else who you will help in the future. And I was like, oh my freak, like, that's amazing. That's so true. Like, and so without that time that I had, I don't think I would have got off of the medications that I got off of. I don't think I would have been able to had the time to work on myself to be where I am right now. So the whole point is, you know, as fucked up as it was when you're in it, when you look back, it's like what was gained was so much more than what was lost. And not saying that, like, that it was okay, or, you know, it wasn't hard, or people didn't get hurt during the process, but, like, everything, it's I mean, you could look at it in negative, but that's pointless. It's like, what was gained when you're looking back at these painful moments and this pain and trauma that you went through. Like, don't look at it like, what did you lose in it? Look at it like, what did you gain from it? Like, I want you to look at it like, whatever trauma you went through, I want you to change the way you think about it. I want you to start thinking, when it pops in your head, start looking at it like, not, oh my God, I lost this, I lost my parents, I lost my house, I lost this. What did you gain from it is what I want to know. What did you gain? You know, what did you gain? And once you start looking at things from that point of view, your brain has neurons and brain cells and stuff that fire off, and once you keep having the same thought over and over, it gets like thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. So, you know, you're more likely to kind of focus on that. But it's almost like proven, once you send forgiveness and you forgive yourself and you forgive everybody who's hurt you in the past, that you're actually, and then once you in that moment, when you have that one of those thoughts or something of your past and trauma, when you just say, like, you know, wait a minute, okay, we're not going to do this again. We're not going down this road again. You know, I've seen this movie before, and it's not going to happen. This time, I choose to forgive, and I send love, and I embrace the pain. And once you start looking at it from a different way, a whole new neuron is going to fire off, and it's going to start going. So every time now, once you start focusing on it that way, that neuron is going to start getting thicker and thicker and thicker, and through those circuits, whatever it is, the circuits in your brain. And then guess what's going to happen to that other one? It's going to get thinner and thinner and thinner until eventually it will be gone. This is the power that our brain holds. And it shows that forgiveness is a bad mamma jamma, let me tell you. And as hard as it is to forgive, it's like, if you don't, and you are, because it's only holding those feelings of hatred and resentment, it's not hurting the other person, it's only hurting you. Here comes somebody walking. Bye-bye, come on. It's only hurting you, and it's going to start manifesting physically as physical dis-ease. Bye-bye, no, we're going to go this way. Come on, my buddy, come on. This dog is so crazy. Come on, good boy. It's going to start manifesting as, certain diseases. I can basically promise you that that's what happens when you hold hate and resentment. And I'm thankful that my mom taught me at a young age. I wasn't never allowed to use the word hate. Ever. She's like, hate's not in our dictionary. Like, we don't use that word ever. And then she'd always tell me it's such a strong word, Ashley. So I tell my kids, like, there's certain words I don't let my kids say. Hate is one of them. Can't, don't say that I can't. You can't do that. You could do anything you set your mind to. Anything. And this is the thing, like, whenever I'm able to fix things, like, don't ask me how, freaking lawnmowers, washers, vacuums, and it's because as soon as I get it's broke, I'll be like, I could do it, I could fix it. Like, this is my first thought, and then, like, I'll just go, and I have no clue what I'm doing, but somehow my hands will just do it. Like, I just fixed a lawnmower the other day, like, for like the third time, like, and don't ask me how I do it. Don't know. I believe I could do it. That's how I could do it. I just believe I can, and then my hands just somehow do it. It just does. And I feel like that's like almost like hand in hand with like the healing work that I do. I believe in myself. I know I can. This stuff that I have been through in my life has proven to me that I can count on myself for anything. That I can, that I can do it. That I can do it. The only thing stopping you is you. In your state of mind, what you tell yourself, your thoughts. Saying you can't do something is like the worst thing you could do to yourself. You're setting yourself up for failure. Don't do that. Even if you really don't think you can, just say you can. Just freaking lie to yourself. Just say it. Just get, and then once you start doing that, what did I say? The circuits or whatever in your brain, it'll start getting thicker and thicker and thicker, and the can't one will start getting thinner and thinner and thinner. So, I know I kind of got off topic because as I'm walking, it's like hard to kind of, with the dog and everything around me, all the stimulation around me, it's kind of hard to focus on one thing, but that's not the point. And for so long, it's like, I didn't speak and stuff because of the way I talk. It was always like a insecurity of mine because like I bounce around. Like when I say something, like I'll start here unless I'm like sitting there with a piece of paper, I'll start going left with the conversation. And I tend to, like, it was almost like embarrassing for me. Like it was a very big insecurity in me. Or sometimes like I'll be talking and I talk fast. Like I just be talking. Everyone's like, Ashley, will you slow down? You talk so fast. It's just something I've always done. And like I said, and then sometimes I just forget what I'm about to say. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I know there's other people out there like me. And that's what's holding, could be holding them back from coming forward and speaking and stuff. And it's like, who cares? Like, who cares? That's not the point. If people are really drawn to you, and if you really have a message to say, and your intentions are pure and your heart's pure, people are going to look past that. And the people who don't, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. It's another thing I teach my kids. When people say stuff to you and come at you, stuff like that, like, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them and their own insecurities and their own bullshit, because only hurt people hurt people. People should be wanting to uplift others and encourage others, not bring them down. Don't let the comments and the imposters, and those evil spirits and demons that are working through them, don't let that affect you. You have a bigger purpose, a bigger mission. You can't be letting a little freaking comment, or what somebody else thinks of you stop you. You can't. But I get it, because I was there. I was at that point before where, like, I didn't want to speak. People would ask me to speak. They're like, Ashley, like, your story, like, there's people I know who, like, told me, like, Ashley, like, you're, like, my hero, like, everything that you went through, like, which is, at that point, like, I'm looking like, what? Because I didn't see it in myself. And this is another thing, if you're chosen one, other people will see things before you will, and they'll point it out to you. And you might not believe it at the time. You might be like, who, me? No, I don't think so. Like, I have too much anxiety. I can't get up and speak. I can't do this. Well, in 5 years from now, you might be on a freaking stage talking to hundreds of people, motivating them through your experience. So don't think just because where you're at right now, you know, you might be having horrible anxiety, can't talk. I promise you, it will not be like that forever. It won't if you don't give up and you keep just working on yourself. This is the best thing you can do when you're in a fucked up situation, is focus on becoming your best self. Once I made that decision that day, it changed my life. It made me see things, and that's all you need sometimes, is a fresh pair of eyes. It's just a new perspective. And it's so easy to just be able to like change your mind real quick, you know. Just you always have a choice. Like whenever my kids will say like, I'm bored, I'm like, being bored is a choice. All right, I don't want to hear that. Like, being bored is a choice. You can get up and go color, you can get up and go do something. Like, being negative is a choice. Like, it's and it's not hurting. I mean, it could hurt us, but it's mainly hurting you. It's mainly hurting you. And sometimes people don't realize that they have a choice. For a very long time, I was a very negative person, especially when I was in like my most vulnerable, like my humiliated, like I was embarrassed. I was so self-conscious. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I don't want to say hate, but it was just so humiliating. I didn't smile. I would refuse to smile. Like, I was so miserable. And I look back and it's like the only one I was hurting like was myself, you know. And then back then I didn't realize that I didn't have to be that way. It was almost like I didn't realize I could change my mind, because it's almost like once it's like that mask. It's like it wasn't me, and I knew that. I knew that wasn't me. You know, we build these masks of something that we become because of trauma and you know, it's like a defense mechanism. So people, you know, and then it's like you feel like you have to take that on and be that, even when you don't want to be it. But it's like you feel like, oh my God, well, I can't change now. Like, I'm too deep into this. Like, I've been this way for years. Like, I can't just switch up, because then people are gonna be like, but yes, you can. I'm here to tell you, yes, you can. And I'm here to tell you that once you do, and there's whoever is around you who starts being like, oh my God, like, who are you now? Who do you think you are? Or look, like, if they don't like you, like, then that's a blessing to you, because then you know that they're not meant to be in your life. Because somebody who's really meant to be there, they'll be there, encouraging you, supporting you, not putting you down in any way. You know, you don't and you're, by being negative, you're just bringing more negative experiences into your life. Your life will not get better if you keep being negative. I'm telling you that right now. There's just no possible way. You're setting yourself up for failure. And your life is going to continue to suck. And you're going to keep manifesting negative experiences. Period. And sometimes that's what we have to go through. That's what I had to go through. I had to go through that to finally realize, like, Ashley, damn, like, you know, so I'm not passing judgment on anybody when I'm talking. Like, I promise you, like, and it seems like, you know, I know, like, one of my purposes is, like, people, when they'll talk to me about something, and they think, like, it's so bad, they have it so bad, you know, it's like, well, you can come talk to me about it, because it seems like I always, and as messed up as it is, because, like, I'm not invalidating anyone's pain or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, there's always somebody out there that's going to have it worse than you. So as bad as you think you have it, I promise you, and I feel like that's why people like to talk to me, because after they're done, it's like they feel like their life isn't that bad. They realize it's not that bad, because then I'll be like, you know, compared to mine. And as crazy as that seems, it's like, but there's so many people that I've talked to and helped that by the time we were done talking, they were like, oh my God, like, my life really isn't that bad. And but it doesn't matter, regardless of your life, if you just hang in there, you keep going, you're going to come out on the other side such a better person because of it. I promise you, and the blessings will be double. They will be double. And I think this says this in the Bible with like the book of Job or whatever. I was just telling my daughter because I was seeing like this post about it. And I'm not a religious, but I grew up going to Catholic schools my whole life. But I would not call myself religious at all. That actually pushed me away from God and all that even more, because like they could never answer my questions that I had. It just seemed like such bullshit. But recently, I always knew like we came from one source, you know, and whatever you want to call it, God, universe, you know, well, not the universe, because that's God in the universe, but like, you know, a higher power. And we, you know, we all hold that within each other, and we're all, you know, basically the way I look at it is we each hold a piece of God within us, and we should treat each other like that. But I'm a very spiritual person, and recently I've been hearing like certain people like talk and stuff, and like what they're saying, it's just like so different than what I learned in Catholic schools. And it's like, damn, like why couldn't they just explain it this way? Like I get it, like why couldn't they just explain it? Like, you know, I don't know. But so anyways, I seen something about, you know, the book of Job, which I forgot all about, and how he lost his kids and his wife, and he, you know, everyone turned against him, but because, you know, the devil, or the God let the devil test him, because he knew that he could, you know, overcome it. So it's like God will let the devil test you, but, you know, it's because he knows you can overcome it. He knows your true power. And I was reading it in this thing, and I was like, I told my daughter, I was like, oh my God, it kind of reminds me of me, like, for real, like, I lost everything, like, everything, you know, like, my parents at a young age, you know, my mom got killed in front of me, then my dad died, like, I lost everybody. I had nothing, but I had nothing, guys. I had nowhere to go. I was young. I was like 18. I had nothing. But literally, there were people who just popped up out of nowhere, like angels in human bodies, I swear, like that were there at every moment of my life, that helped me. And it's so amazing, because it's like they didn't have to help, like, and these people, like, people would think like they were like the worst, like they drank and did stuff, but like they took, like, there's people that took me in, fed me when I didn't have no food, let me live at their house with their kids, like, when it just amazes me, like, it's just amazing, you know, the goodness in people. And it was like, even though I lost everything, like, there were still people sent, like, that were there to help, that would help me get through. But anyways, what I was talking about was, if you get through it, if you keep pushing through, you never give up, and you keep going and keep going, like, on the other end of it, I promise you guys, I promise it'll be worth it. You know, now I look at my life. I have, you know, my 3 girls, like, they're my world. They always were my world, like, they still are and always will be, and I'm so grateful. I promise you guys, just hold on, you know, don't give up. And I've been talking, it's 58 minutes, so I don't want to talk your guys' ear off, but I know I'm talking to somebody. I know somebody's hearing me. I know somebody hears me, and I just want you to know that right now. If you think you have it bad right now, if you think your life sucks and stuff like that, like, I promise you, there's people out there that are going through a lot worse, and there's people that have went through a lot worse who overcame it, who have come out the other side. And this is my message. This is like almost like, I feel like my life is like it is a message to other people that, you know, of what not to do, and that you can overcome. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise you. And those that know me would tell you that, like, they're looking at me now and looking at me 10 years ago, looking at me like totally, it's amazing. It's amazing, the transformation. It's amazing, and I'm forever grateful. And for me not to, you know, share that with, you know, especially right now, like, we have the internet and stuff like that, and although it could be used for negative, you know, it can be used for good. And while we have it, it's like, I feel like it's important to get these messages out, to inspire other people, motivate other people. And I want everyone to know that, you know, if they ever just need to talk or whatever, you know, I'm always here. Just message me or whatever. And I appreciate everyone who's, you know, always, you know, watching my videos and stuff with the Reiki and intuitive healings. I'm not sure what else, because like what I could do is, like, I always been able to, like, to heal, right, take away pain when I put my hands on somebody. But it, you know, since a lot of people weren't close to me where I put my hands on them, like, you know, that's where the Reiki came. That's where I started, like, you know, digging into Reiki, and because I wanted to learn more about it. And this is another thing. I feel like if you're chosen a job that for you to do is to take things that are complicated, right? Take things that are so confusing and break them down to a way where, like, a kid can understand it, to convey it, you know. Like, I feel like going through all the shit that I went through has given me, and everything that I've learned has given me the ability to go and take something that's very confusing and put it together and kind of present it in a way that some people can understand. And I think that's also important. But anyways, yeah, but with the natural healings and stuff like that, and the Reiki, you know, intuitive healings, and I hope it's, you know, helping. I hope it's helping a lot of people, and that's my intention, you know, because I know the power that it holds, and I'm just so grateful for everyone who watches and who comments and is so encouraging, and you know, I just want to say thank you. I just want to throw that out there if anyone's watching that watches those videos of mine. But I'm sending you all light and love and hope. I'm sending you hope of a better tomorrow, of a better future, if you just hang in there. And I'm sending in confirmation that it can be done. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay? All right.